right, we are live.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and to the members of the Governance Committee and the staff. I thank you for joining today's meeting. I want to call this meeting today at 11:06. Before we enter into our formal business of order, the board received notice of the passing of CAT's maintenance director, Steve Boatwright. Our condolences goes out to his family, friends, and co-workers. I'd like for us to take a brief moment to reflect and to offer the floor to Ms. Ragland if she has any comments.
Yes, sir. I would just like to thank you for that, Mr. Chairman. We remember lots of members of the staff did attend the services yesterday, and the family was very appreciative. Steve has given so many contributions, so much commitment and dedication to Chatham Area Transit, and he is truly going to be missed. We already miss him, but thank you so much for giving us this moment to reflect.
Thank you. Let's take a brief moment of silence. All right, thank you for that. My blessings go out to Steve and his family. Ms. Ragland, I don't believe we have any presentation scheduled for committee today.
No, sir, we don't.
All right. I know staff is working with Mr. Cates and scheduling a time for him to present some information to the board in the near future.
Yes, sir.
All right.
As a matter of fact, staff will be meeting with him on tomorrow. And we'll update the board, of course, after that meeting, but we are preparing to make a presentation to the board, a brief presentation at our regularly scheduled meeting on next week.
Thank you, Ms. Ragland.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on down. We have 8 items, A through H, before us for recommended action during next week's board meeting. Ms. Ragland, I turn the floor over to you to discuss the following proposed agenda items.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These items have been placed on in the consent agenda for next board meeting, which is scheduled for next Tuesday. There were some items that were not included initially in the packet, but had been forwarded to the board after the fact. So I believe everyone has had time to review them. If there's any reason why any of these should be taken from the consent agenda and placed as individual items, we can discuss that at this point.
What is the bonus incentive agreement? I don't remember seeing any paperwork on that.
Oh, I apologize, Dr. Halloran, but
is that the vaccine related?
No, sir, it's not. It's actually an agreement that we would like to have set up, the staff would like to set up as a matter of a record that would apply to any incentive or any type of bonus that the board might approve, not specifically to this vaccination. Remember, this is something that the FDA had said in the past that we were not able to apply for reimbursable funds because we did not have such an arrangement set up. So we want an agreement set up. So we want to go ahead and put this in place so that in the future that we would be eligible for any types of reimbursements for any types of incentives or bonuses that are approved by the board.
Okay, and who do we have? Is this directly with the FDA or is this just an internal process?
This is just an agreement among ourselves, between the board and the union.
Okay, because I know we've talked about this incentive plan going back to when I started on the board, and that's 4 years ago, and we
Yes,
kept
sir.
talking about it. And every time it came up, we said, well, we have no money to do it, so we
But it
just
just,
kept pushing it off. It was never
right.
officially set up. We were supposed to have someone come in and review everything and give us some recommendations. I know we got to the diversity and inclusion part. But yeah, I think going down the road, and it's something to look at to include in next year's budget and millage requests, because any kind of incentive and bonuses are going to have to be out of pocket with CAT. And since we budget down to the penny when we're told what the millage rate's going to be, then we're going to have this included, and we're going to have to put a price tag on it as a potential.
Dr. O, this agreement does not actually pertain to any monetary funding. It's just the agreement stating that the board has the authority to make those improvements of incentives or bonuses where they deem necessary. That's all. Does not include any monetary information at all. Just the
Okay,
fact
are we looking
is an
to
agreement.
install an incentive program? Is that where this is protecting us?
Just to say that we have an agreement to do so if we choose to do so.
Okay. I mean, we've been talking about it. I think it's, it has to be thought about 2 years in advance because of the way we're budgeted. So, even though we're not putting a dollar amount on the actual document, it has to be in our minds that if we go with an incentive program, that it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And we could probably, but we have to come up with a plan yet. And I think Ms. White was actually talking about an incentive plan down the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true. But
And we're negotiating two contracts with the union. So there's going to be, some other numbers involved, because I don't think we're walking out of negotiations without a cost.
And you're probably correct. I don't know, but we need to have this agreement in place.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if we can see the language on that, it'll probably clear it up for everybody.
Yes, sir, definitely.
That was the only one I saw that only because we hadn't seen it yet, so.
Okay. And the others, I mean, as it is, Mr. Chairman, these can stand on the consent agenda for the board meeting for next week.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next, we're going to move to committee updates. If any of the committee chairs would like to provide an update from last week's meeting, I turn the floor over to you at this time. We have Dr. Holleran.
Yeah, I did. We haven't, I know we keep pushing it off, but I'm not sure where we are in committee structure, and I hate to be, constantly bringing it up because I know we're in a turmoil time with this COVID and stuff, but and I know we wanted to wait for the retreat to reassign committees, but I think we may have to go ahead and do that sooner rather than later.
All right.
Because I talking with the chairman this morning, I'm not sure we're going to be doing it again this month. And I really don't think we have time to waste, because we're going to have to start budgeting in January and come up with a plan on what we consider our needs as far as millage. And I think we're probably not going to be able to maintain at the current millage that we've had for the last 4 years. But other than that, I don't have anything else this time.
Thank you, Dr. Holleran. And we are working on, I spoke with Ms. Dumas this morning pertaining to the retreat. So we are working on a quick solution to issues that we have members that's concerned about COVID. So We are working on this diligently, and we should have an answer for this retreat this week, actually. Director Leggett, did you have any updates?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman. We had a meeting earlier this week, and we just discussed the majority of what we already have on the agenda. And I'm glad that we already have the some information about the bus wash. That's going to be an asset to our organization. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you, Director Leggett. Director Edmiston?
No updates, but thank you.
Thank you.
The only other update I actually have is on the CEO search ad hoc committee. I spoke to Beverly yesterday, and I understand the ad will be placed starting tomorrow and will run for 30 days. And then Mr. Benzinger will be reviewing the applications, doing some, early background checks, and should have something for us in the early to mid part of December for us to start reviewing and then setting up interviews down the road. So that's where we are with that. So basically the next 30 days will be static. He'll be accepting applications. So next month I should at least know that that's closed, and phase 2 will begin.
Thank you for those updates. Do we have any old new business at this time?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I would just like to mention to the board that I will be reaching out to all members of the board this week. This afternoon, I'm sorry, I started to say tomorrow, but this afternoon, staff and I are meeting with members of the Squire Patton Boggs team and Mike Backer to discuss some legislative priorities. And we'll be reaching out to the board on that subject matter later this week.
I heard Kemp wants to go back to in-person meetings statewide, at least state employees.
Yes.
Not sure where that's coming from, but
Yes, that's his desire. But I just want to let you know that I will be reaching out to members of the board after the meeting this afternoon.
Thank you.
yeah, one other question that just came to my brain. Do we know when the audit's going to be completed and when we're going to get the presentation on that? Our regular annual audit with the new company. I don't remember the company name now.
Dr. O, they should, matter of fact, be wrapping up this week. We'll arrange for a presentation before the board as soon as that's done. But the last update was they were wrapping up the audit this week. Staff will be.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean, it doesn't have to be this month. I think November would be a good time to schedule it. That would, as long as it's done, you got to get a copy of it, get it to all the board members, give them time to look it over. So the presentation in November would probably work out pretty well.
Okay, great.
Plus, you guys have to study it.
That's right.
And when is the FMO group coming in? Are they in?
They're already here. We've had several meetings with them. We wrap up this week on Friday.
Well, that's good. 2 audits out of the way in 1 week.
Yes,
Whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's good because we've had
all the paperwork's
daily
out,
meetings.
so you don't have to go looking for stuff.
Yes. There have been daily meetings set up with them. So for all of this week and last week as well.
that's correct.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So our next scheduled meeting is next week, Tuesday, October 26, 2021. I look forward to seeing all of you there. I pray all of you stay safe. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right.